here in the Federation, in the Caribbean, further afield. We heard quite a few topics being mentioned, and we have our first caller. Do we? Yes. Oh no, we lost that caller. Sorry about that caller. And reminding you, you can call into Voices 466 0989 466 0989. And of course, we are making positions for you if you're calling from overseas, whether you're calling from England, whether you're calling from the UK. I'll get those numbers for you in a second. But you can call, and those of you who are having any challenges calling, you can send me a WhatsApp 668-2055, 668-2055, or you can also send me a WhatsApp on 765-1100, and I'll be able to share your information with you. And in the UK, the number to call 033-344-0065. The UK calls 033-344-065. As I break to go to the line and say welcome to our first caller. You're live on Voices. How are you, Miss Henry?
Yeah, yeah. I wait till you finish talking.
Oh, well, no, I'll yield to you because I was getting ready to come over and pay a visit and say hi, hello. We got a visit that
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We got the information that you had a little accident on the weekend. So,
Oh, well, all who want to send my number is 465. I'll give them the number. I tell you, they don't want to take me away, me ain't going nowhere.
I agree with you. You have to stay strong.
I want to thank my good friend, Journey. That's the second fall I get for the month I won last month, you know. The cane I had slide and throw me against the door.
Wow.
What the song said, they're trying to stop the race. They can't get me out of the race.
I agree with you. You're one tough cookie.
They can't get me out.
You're one tough
thank you, Journey, for your feeling. My home number is 465-3645. Thank all those who prayed for me, those who praying for me. All those who send back the greetings and Women's Day. Now, let me address the Finca matter. A lot of misinformation is being given out, you know, misinformation. When the Finca was in place, we had a number of people getting our passport. Who had, there was the doctor from Canada, remember?
Mm-hmm.
One from Nigeria, different ones. Dr. Douglas was warned not to stop selling passport to the Iranians. I don't know if you can remember that.
I remember something along those lines, yes.
He told them yes, and he continued. And when he was questioned, he said, well, those that they gave, they were already in the pipeline. So because of the number of persons who were wanted by the U.S., and our passport business, and the insistence on Dr. Douglas. Good morning, Dr. Douglas. I forgive you for all you do me and what men do, and forgive me for what I do you. Anyway, so the U.S. said, look, you can't be saying you stop selling and you're selling them. That was the Finco. And they said they even sent somebody down here to challenge them. I think it was the Secretary General or whatever in America. And the British came too. They came, you know, threatening to withdraw the visa, free travel. My name, Mr. Brantley, Dr. Mark Brantley, when he became the Foreign Affairs Minister, he tried getting the Americans and the Canadians to withdraw and to give free visa travel. They promised, but they never did. I suppose the Americans never did. Now, when I hear them say, oh, the thing, Finco does not give you free travel to America. You understand?
Yes,
If we
I'm
said that they
listening.
took it up altogether. When the government changed and Unity went in, to ease the trouble, the Unity government decided to give the list of all those who applied for passport to the USA, to the EU, to Interpol. Do you know that?
No, I'm going to ask you where could we find that information?
You can
What's the
find
source?
the one with the FINCO if you go on America FINCO, because you have to do financial information, something. Right?
But the
So when
latter
I hear
part
them
that
say
you
that,
just
oh,
mentioned.
they take off FINCO, they take off the FinCEN. You could look for FinCEN. It has the list of the names of the people. And it's because of conceit. Now, all these years from 2015 to maybe now, they are still supplying the names of the applicants to the USA.
Where could we find that piece of information that you just mentioned, Miss Henry? That we are still
Look,
supplying the names.
it was put on in 2014, 13, 14.
Now, what site we could go to? What article we could reference?
Well, look for the FinCEN thing, the American financial something. Because how I come to remember, I used to be part of a panel discussion on Inside the News at WinFM from 2010. Whenever they have election, I represented myself. Edinburgh was for Labour, Troy Labour for Nevis, Welch for that party that Welch and a number of us. And they were even trying to deny it until I got to tell the passport I start with. So it was the inconsistency in the thing. And these people who were committing all this crime, I forget the doctor name. I think he was arrested in the Bahamas or someplace. You understand?
Yes,
So to suggest that, they take off FinCEN, so that's a thing or so. Because visas were given all the time. I heard them say that they're going to give America the list of names. They've been getting it. They have been getting it, and sometimes they feel like some people get through. Now that you have these political wars, they want to know the name and the whatever of the people who America considers to be enemies. Because we sell a lot of passports to India and some other countries, though, but there are a number of countries on the list that they do not wish for us to sell our passport. So they give people the impression, oh, you just go up. And so you go. You know, they must tell the truth.
But
and the American government too.
Miss Henry, I'm recalling
and
that.
I want to know, what did they have to trade for the FinCEN to come up? FinCEN come up, I mean, it's financial information, something. But FINCEF, FinCEN.
Yes, that was lifted.
Do you search? You find it?
Yes, I'm checking.
Yeah, because we discussed the matter. Even when they were denying it, I said, look, say this passport starts with a Z. So you could tell who it is. So the more corrupt people on the program is the more they end up on the American wanted list. So I don't know, they started selling again to the Iran. We have a number of them. I don't think Russia, a number of Russians too. So whenever the American government wants to pressure you, they bring up the story. What have we gained? So to announce that, they take off FinCEN. FinCEN don't mean you still can't get visa. Or they mean the due diligence. I think they want to do what we do with due diligence. And then there is the Chinese projects. One of them I think it's Trump, what you said, you know. Or he don't want any of these countries having a stake in our country before went to the Chinese. I know the Chinese are plentiful in the Caribbean. So they're going about trying to intimidate and whatever. And our leaders, they're telling us half-truth. What do we have to trade? They don't want, he said, not even 1 acre. Suppose if we went to the case in Nevis. What exactly have we traded away? What have they asked us to give up? Because what they seem to want is total domination of the country's economy. Because we never ever have a thing with them. They always sell us more than we sell them. They go and they move out the factories, you know, and then they talk about Cuba. American students go to Cuba, you know, doctors and so. Why they don't start there? Disqualify them then. And Dr. Drew went to Ghana to recruit nurses or whatever. They haven't said it, but they have given up what they have. You don't think so?
I am not certain what would have been on the negotiating table. But
the what?
I'm not certain at all what would have been on the negotiating table. But
if the mere day he went to Ghana to look with his people, is there Antigua went? Antigua notified that they gave up theirs. They haven't said it. They haven't said it, you know. But that is what they had to trade away. Now you see, America don't understand. What they are doing is that they are creating silent enemies. Let me say it again. When you go dominating and creating people, even those who might have liked you, because everybody got to suffer, they become silent enemies. And when you think you're safe, you're not safe. So we must give up our doctors. What if you're going to take somebody bread? At least bring bread and cake. Up to now, they haven't said, well, you have 15 people down in Cuba. We will allow these people to finish in the USA then. None such thing. I say, my Dr. Drew, I every day pray, Lord, give him wisdom. Give him good counsel. Because we in for it. Or you can't buy this, you can't buy that. We used to get the oil on credit. America not selling their on credit. But what is that with Trump, eh? Oil is sold at market price, the world market. So when you walk around and creating problems, automatically the price in America has to go up because the American oil company is not going to sit by and sell the oil for nothing. When the other people who have more oil are selling at twice the price. But you see, this is when you let somebody get out of hand. A lot of us create these serious problems. I heard Dr. Drew talking about, they are going to make these water bins, or what you call them, and he forgot to say that he only collected half of the money. He collected half the amount of binsy paper. You're going to have a factory, you're going to make these things to collect the water and separate. Up to now, I don't even think half of the things that they install have been set up. What is that?
Which bins are you referring to, Miss Henry?
The water containers, the man, what they call them, that they gave to Kenya and different places.
Okay.
Ashley brought them in, Ashley. I'm at the point again on.
I am not too familiar at all. I have to do some investigation.
Man, they got them in some places, water containers, water gallon, gallon of water, 100-gallon containers.
I'll have to follow up and do a little more research on
Where were you, man? You were hiding? No, they bring them in, and then the thing is that they were to set them up, put them on a platform, and provide the pump. Up to now, nothing do. So people have them, but they have nothing to run the water from the roof in. So he said they're gonna start to manufacture that. How many years after? They were manufacturing it to collect the money from the roof to the containers. You know? A lot of dreams. Basse High School. 2028. A lot of pipe dreams.
Sorry,
I mean, look, if
what about
you can't do something,
2028?
you can't do something.
What about 2028, Miss Henry?
Election in 2028?
Oh, 2028 or it's June 2027? The last elections were held in August 2022.
2024, right?
So it's
22?
elections are due in 2027 by August.
Yeah, well, you know, they got months now. Because they have said it before. 2028, everything is 2028, and the hospital and the MRI story. That your house are sick. You gotta get the building, you gotta get the machine. How many times have we been told that it soon come? I mean, this is where Dr. Drew lost credibility, you know. Stop making promises you know you can't fulfill.
And you're speaking in terms of it's your opinion he lost credibility.
Yes, because people believe
we need to make that clear, please. That is your opinion.
Oh. You lose credibility. Look, even if you try to hold your children, I'm gonna buy a bicycle for your Christmas. Christmas coming. The child look with the bicycle. Man, when you bought they come and go and you know, the child start believing what you say. That's what credibility got to do. People believe you with the 1,500 and you take them off of the paper crime and you will get your 500 and you got on to 250. You got on to nothing now. If you find yourself in a situation, all may not be of his making, right? Because you know the Americans are pressuring what to run the country. Explain to the people you got high school, you got university. Explain to the people, I promise you, but things have changed so drastically. We are not able to do it. That is better than repeating a lie or not saying anything. I say high school was to be up in the air. They had already a plan. They didn't have to go on a plan and then kind of foolishness. Modify it and build it. It is not going to be built. So they dig up the ground. They say, oh, the pipes are coming. What is that? That's a school? Dr. Joe, kneel down on your knees and pray for yourself. Pray for yourself. Branty, pray for yourself. The Americans said they don't even want anybody, not even 1 acre. You heard him, right?
Yes, I'm listening.
Not even 1 acre must come in and take our land. I mean, really? You can't, if they buy it and you take it back, they put things on you. Stop giving false promises. A promise is a comfort to a fool, unless all of us are fools. Pray for yourself. Your advisors, they need their own advice. They need help. We need help and all of you out there. Pray for the Prime Minister. Some of you who know better talk to him, whether you like it or not. So to all of you and winnfm, while we complaining, pray for wisdom. Pray for wisdom. All the ministers are by name. Jeffrey, good morning, Jeffrey. I see you trying. But if you promise 2,400 and you deliver in 6 something, a promise is a promise. Explain to the people. Next thing the man got them in court. You know? So the FinCEN thing, Dr. Denzel Douglas, you know about the FinCEN because of you. Explain to the people exactly what it means. People can't just go and get, you take up a good self, say, I go in Barbados. To do what? Even green card, they don't want you to come. So what does FinCEN benefit us? Removing it, what does it benefit us? The FinCEN say who you could sell to, who you can't sell to. That's all they say, you know. Who you could sell. And America said they want to know all the things that the people who now are playing.
30 seconds, please, Miss Henry.
Purpose, I thank all of you. You know, that's the second part I get. They were trying to throw me down, but I ain't going down. Pray for me and all of you out there who's sick, who's suffering, the poor, the needy. Look to God and pray for the Prime Minister and all the ministers of government. You get the water tank. That's what I wanted to say, the water tank, no? They're going to make them here.
Okay, Miss Henry.
If you're aware of the fumes of taking plastic, you're going to put the factory over here and they're trying to kill them. That's a lot of plastic odor, you know. And you're going to make these things them to run the water into them. Dr. Joe, please check with Dr. Clark. You could tell you about pollution and all of that. So pray for them, pray for our government. And as for Donald Trump, empires come, empire go. They have been greater empire than American.
Wrap up, please,
We
Miss
are
Henry.
there today. So put your trust in God. Journey, put your trust in God. And stop this ethnicity thing. The heart of people, whether they're black, they're red, they're white, deceit for the wicked. All right, then.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Henry. Quite a mouthful indeed. And she mentioned a few things that I am familiar with. The passport situation. I remember when we lost our visa-free access to Canada, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm subject to correction. It had to do something with us producing passports, and the key line, I think it was the country of birth, was omitted, and it was shortly after that we had that issue. We're going to go to the line now and take another caller. And caller, we lost the caller. Let us try this other one. Good morning, caller. Wow, we lost both calls. We do apologize. But we thank you for calling. You're listening to Voices here on WinFM 98. I was just going to a break, but here is this caller. Let us take it. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Voices here on WinFM 98.9. You're live.
Yes. Sometimes I wonder if it's not better for our government. I'm not just saying it's, but the Caribbean governments, because they seem to all operate pretty much the same way. If they don't come clean with the people from day one and stay clean. I say that because, you see the governments now, they're trying to navigate exactly what's happening vis-a-vis the U.S. and the rest of the world in a kind of a very secretive way, right? And the fact is that the U.S., the EU, are all, they seem to be weaponizing, and they have always done this, it seems, weaponize things like our CBI, anything that we do that they don't like. They tend to weaponize things like visa access, FinCEN's advisory, and those kinds of things, okay? Because they realize that those have an impact on the populace, and the populace can then put pressure on the government. But the government, I think, has an equal responsibility to tell us exactly what's going on, rather than try to use things like, well, the FinCEN's advisory has been removed, to make it seem as if it's a feather in a particular sitting government's cap. When in fact, it's the country that issued these things that have determined
We're different.
Exactly what they're going to do vis-a-vis the relations with us, right? So, for instance, when the whole issue of the Cuban brigade started, there was this thing about negotiating with the U.S. government on
30 seconds more, please, caller. We have another call.
Okay, negotiating with the government on aspects of it, when in fact it was just straight out, do as I wish otherwise, right? And I'm saying that it probably is a better strategy to come straight out and say, this is what we're faced with, and this is what we have to do, as opposed to giving the impression that you have some choice in the matter, right? Maybe that forthright way might be a better way of operating than the kind of secretive kind of way that our government go about doing things. Just a thought.
Thank you very much, caller. We appreciate that. Thank you for listening, and thank you for calling in. You're listening to Voices here on winnfm 98.9. It is now 10:31, so let us go downtown and pay some bills. Please stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be right back in a few after these ads.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune in to On the Ball, a weekly talk show which is on WinFM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Biff Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Biff Mills on WinFM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
Tire treads gone? Going bald? Don't let this be you. It's time for new tires from TDC Automotive. As the month rolls along, buy 2 or more tires and get 20% off your purchase. Get more savings and safer driving for the roads ahead. Visit TDC Automotive today at Southwell Industrial Estate in St. Kitts or Penny's Industrial Estate, Nevis. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply. Offer valid while stocks last.
We are back here on Voices. We have a caller on the line, so let us go live to the caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Voices. You're live.
Yes, Biff, it's me again. And greetings once more in the blessed, most holy name, Jesus Christ, the name of all names. Now, let me say, as I was saying earlier in the previous program, and I just said it's best suited for this program. Now, down by the bus terminal, you have a very, very bad, terrible, awful, unsanitary, unhealthy situation down there for the longest a while now, months now. I understand. And like I said, I myself have seen it in part. Now, down by the bus terminal, you have one, well, the garbage are gathering in a certain area down by Shashamani Bar area, and it has not been dealt with for some time now by the proper personnel, and just there gathering. Not only that, also where the restrooms are concerned, the two restrooms on both sides of the bus terminal area, they've been out of commission for the longest a while now. With the sort of exception of the entrance area where you're going, the bus shed, under the bus shed, the entrance area. Well, the male bathroom over in that direction, even though it is open, even though it does be open, it is very, very flooded with water and unsanitary. And not only that was made to understand, I think it was in the one that an elderly woman went in and got a fall. She slid in there because of the water and the sort of stuff. But the others, the female for that restroom area and the one on the upper side as well, the both male and female and the one on the upper side, they all have been closed down for months now. And I understand. And I've seen them closed down as well.
Greg, by chance, have you called the health department or the bar owners there? Have they called the health department and reported it?
I understand some talking was made to one of the ministers, and the minister said that that's not that don't come under their portfolio, it come under another minister portfolio. I understand talking was made on another radio station of it. As for me personally, no, I have not spoken to the health department. I have not, and I can't see how they know about it.
But a few things. One,
hello?
May I suggest that you call the health department 465-2521, ask for them, so you perhaps could come on here at another time and say, yes, I called them a week ago, 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and nothing has been done. So may I make that suggestion, please? And
yes, of course, that's a very good suggestion. And I would also say that those who are hearing you, who have interest, the business owners and so on, who have interest in that they should also make the same call as well. But yes, I think I would take it up.
I too will call them, so I too can come and say, well, yes, I called them yesterday, I called them today, or whatever the case, and I could get us as detailed as at 10:35 or whatever the time is. I could make a note, so we can come back and say, yes, we did. You said something that I am having a little challenge to believe it. Note my choice of words. I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth, but
no,
I'm having a challenge believing that this was told to a minister of government, and he said, or she said, that is not my ministry. If that were to have happened, if that is true, that is perhaps one of the most ridiculous things I've heard. As far as I'm concerned, one, it's all about customer service. And two, if you're, for example, the Minister of, I don't know, communication, and this is a case of health, I suspect, and this is a matter for health. They have cabinet every Monday. I think it's every Monday. But even so, I would, if I were to be a minister of government and had to be told that, I would get on my phone right away and say, hey,
yes,
Minister so-and-so, I am here at the ferry terminal, and I have here Mr. or Miss so-and-so who reported that this is the situation. I too went and looked at it, and could you have it resolved quickly? This passing on, and it's not
you make a lot of sense.
Exactly. And I have a problem with that even in business. I have called I've called businesses and said, hey, this is a problem, and they're going to tell me that is not my department. As a matter of fact,
let me add some more.
Yes,
let
sir.
me add some more. Yeah. Now, you realize I refrain from calling the name. And not
of
the
course,
name,
I wouldn't allow you to call the name either.
Okay? But let me add some more as well. Because of the lockdown of these things, okay, people are using the same area, including behind the bars, eateries or snackets, whatever you call them. People are using behind there and other areas to relieve themselves in everywhere, doing the number one and the number two. Okay? All of that I made to understand.
Which is sad, and I could really understand that, because if you're at the ferry terminal and you need to urinate or you need to defecate, for whatever reason, nature calls, and especially if you're diabetic, diabetics have to use the bath, they have to urinate quite often. And it's either that you find somewhere quick and in a hurry to do it, or you relieve yourself on your person. And I'm not certain they're not going to pee themselves and defecate themselves. So, not that it is right, not that it is the best thing to do.
No, it's not right, it's not best.
But I could easily understand why persons will have to resort to that, because according to you, the facilities for that, they are locked. Why they are locked? That's a different kettle of fish.
With the kind of a partial exception of the male bathroom at the entrance part where you go under the shed, the bus shed, the restroom over there, the male bathroom, I understand, is open, but it is flooded, and it basically should be out of order anyhow.
Well, I can tell you this, Greg. I live on the western side of the island, so I have to use the west terminal, the west bus terminal, every day. I come to Bastia, and I use it twice actually, coming and going. And after Voices today, I'm going to make a circle down there so I could come to the public tomorrow and said, yes, I went down there and I checked this, and yes, I called the Department of Health. We really thank you.
Also,
and it's unfortunate, Greg, that it takes things like these, people calling into radio stations, to have matters fixed. And I don't care who government is in power. It is ridiculous in my view.
Yes. And also what you could also do, speak to business people as well down there as well.
Okay, I'll do that, Greg. Thanks a lot for calling and sharing those views. And it is sad, and it is really sad. And it doesn't have to be the persons, the bar owners. Yes, the owners perhaps should be on them because it is their business. And when we look at it, it's not just locals using there, and I'm not suggesting because locals only use it is okay. No. We have tourists coming in. One, when the ships are in, they walk around Bastia. They go through the ferry terminal just to get a part of the energy, to feel like a Kittition or a Nevision for 15 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know. And they look and they observe. And not only that, some of them, they travel to Nevis. And they come down they go and come by the ferry terminal. And of course, those who go directly to Nevis, they too come down. But no matter how you twist and turn it, it is just not right. It is not a good health situation. And I've had those experiences in the past. Let us go to this caller. Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices. Welcome.
Let's try. It's me again. Now, you asked me this morning earlier, where can you find? Try, if you want to know, there are different platforms. You can go on TikTok, you can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube and just type in Ambassador Leo Brent Bozell comment to Ramaphosa letter to the Iranian government. Yeah, there are different versions of his speech.
Spell the name for me, please, sir. Spell his name,
Leo Brent Bozell. That's Bozell. You can just type in Bozell, Ambassador Bozell, and you'll get Leo, Leo, Brent, Brent, Bozell, Ambassador Bozell, American Ambassador Bozell to South Africa. Now, try, last week I said something and our caller, Greg, mentioned something where I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something in the line of where civilization began. Now, Gregory says that everything exists within the womb. Within the womb, everything exists within the womb, or something to that. But if you go to Jeremiah chapter 1, God said, before you were in the womb, before you were formed and shaped in the womb, I knew you. Before you were formed and shaped in the womb. Jeremiah 1, verse 5. Now, try, follow me here. If the spiritual God could say that before you entered the womb and formed and shaped, he knew you, then where was that space that the spiritual God knew us before we were in the womb? But Journey says that we were spirit before we became flesh. And spirit comes through flesh, through birth. Spirit goes back through the spiritual realm, through death. But let us go to something that Mrs. Henry said, that she asked me to do this morning, where she said, I must pray and I must done with the ethnicity thing. Now try again, I'm going to ask you to follow me on this. If the biblical God creates humanity, and why chose a race of people called Israel from the Abrahamic generation? Now here is Journey being race conscious, Joy, race conscious as to who I am and to what I am connected to even before the Bible. What do I mean by this, Joy? If spirit became flesh within the Garden of Eden, if spirit became flesh on earth, then surely it must be in a geographical space. Now, according to what they wrote in the Bible, the Garden of Eden, God planted a garden east of Eden, not within Eden, east of Eden. Now, when you look at all that they outlined within that garden with the 4 rivers, and I already give my understanding of what all that garden is symbolic to with the 4 rivers. But where was this space, Troy? If civilization began in Africa. So am I not connected to who were before me? And then to say, well, forget about this ethnicity thing. What do we have before us today, Troy? The literature and all that is written in this book that we take as a benchmark, where nothing that is of the first civilization is in the book. Everything in the book is of European, according to the literature. Peter, James, and John, Abraham, Moses, all of them, who were they? Except for us knowing them as they are the chosen people of the biblical God, who create humanity and then come and segregate by forming a nation from Abraham. And then Mrs. Henry going to ask me to done with the ethnicity thing. Are you following me, Troy?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But you see, Troy, is this very same book is what cut us off. It has cut us off from who we are. Because they have given us fear. False evidence appearing real. What if everything in this book is a lie, Troy? What if everything in this book is a lie? But when you look deeper into the text and everything that is in the book, it is symbolic to our reality. In order for us to tolerate their injustice on us and their wickedness, they bring a story to us. A story, Troy.
30 more seconds, please, caller.
A God that kills and ordered to kill. in the very writers themselves who have committed genocide on our ancestors' joy. All I'm saying, it is time for us to look and go deep into the logic and just analyze the literature and by whom or who wrote the literature. Thank you for hearing me, Troy.
Thank you very much, caller. Indeed, quite deep, quite intense, and I'm in no way, size, shape, or fashion to really delve in. I'm not so deep within the Bible and the history of the Africans, etc., and born in the womb. I leave that to persons like yourself and Greg, etc., etc. Perhaps what I have a challenge when it comes to religion is Conway says in his song, One Song, that religion, they are all part of one song. And I believe that is the case. Whether you call the Almighty Jehovah, God, whatever you call him, my challenge lies in the fact with the different interpretation of the Bible, the doctrines, the philosophies. I am not certain. Listening to all of them, you'll get the impression they're speaking of the same thing. Why is there such a difference in interpretation? I don't know. The Sabbath, for example, which is right? Celebrate Sabbath on the Saturday or the Sunday? Eating pork, some will argue, eating pork, no, it is against the Bible to eat pork. Some may also argue that's the Old Testament. The Bible in the New Testament say, once you bless anything, that it is good to go. And, well, maybe I might have to do some theological studies. You're listening to WinFM, and I was just about to go to a break. I'm going to take this call, after which we're going to take a break. And the caller, I'm hoping that you will be brief, please.
Yes. Let me say this quickly. The reason why there's so much different interpretation, religion, that sort of stuff, is because people are picking and choosing what to believe, what to go on, and what to reject and deny, and that sort of stuff. And everybody have their different combination. But so that's that's the biggest reason for the differences. But once you follow the context, background, that sort of stuff, if you got a logic, all that sort of stuff, you could only reach one conclusion once you take everything in consideration. And that is what most people are not doing. For example, you mentioned whether eat pork or not, people are not taking in consideration there are two covenants, the old covenant and the new covenant, and we are now under the new covenant. And Johnny need to go beyond the King James Version. King James Version does a mere imperfect translation of what was originally written. You need to go back to the Dead Sea Scrolls, the papyruses, and that sort of stuff. The Bible did not begin with the King James Version, and it is an imperfect translation of what was originally written in the original languages of the Bible. So let me say that there much more, but since you want to be quick,
yes, please.
I'm going to end up there right now. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Greg. I like the fact that you said people pick and choose what to believe, etc. That sounds plausible. If that is the case, if that is the only case, of course, I do not know. But perhaps that is the case. I could understand if that were to be the case. It is also a lot of argument, a lot of discussion that men wrote the Bible and translations may have been a challenge, as so often we in the normal English, we say things and we interpret things, and the two of us looking at the same thing will see differences. 90% perhaps of what we say, we'll be able to record it, but there'll be another 10% different. And we are going to go to a break. Stick and stay. We have our guest in studio. The guest will be on at 11 o'clock. I don't want to give away whether it's a he or a she. That is why I said the guest will be on at 11 o'clock. We have 6 minutes. We're going to play some clips, perhaps take one call when we come back. And then we are going to go live to Studio 2, where our guest is and hear what he or she will have to tell us. Stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
This is not a drill. Liat Air's 30-day advance sale is live right now. We're talking prices so low, you'll think we made a mistake. Spoiler alert, we did it. Say hello Barbados, hello St. Lucia, hello Antigua. Book 30 days ahead for ridiculously low fares across our Caribbean network. But hurry, seats are filling up like last roti at lunch fast. Visit www.flyliatair.com or call 1268-713-5428 today. Liat Air, pride of the Caribbean.
Unlock the secrets to a healthier you. Join Dr. Natalie Osborne every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on WinFM 98.9 for Weekly Dose. During this 30-minute health discussion, we aim to educate and empower our listeners on the prevention of diseases, early diagnosis, and timely intervention. Don't miss out on this informative health talk where we teach you to live your best life. Weekly Dose, Tuesdays on WinFM 98.9.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are any exit. Stairs might broke up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Tire treads gone? Going bald? Don't let this be you. It's time for new tires from TDC Automotive. As the month rolls along, buy 2 or more tires and get 20% off your purchase. Get more savings and safer driving for the roads ahead. Visit TDC Automotive today at Southwell Industrial Estate in St. Kitts or Penny's Industrial Estate, Nevis. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply. Offer valid while stocks last.
Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing, Dr. Mills?
I'm blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks. Thank you.
Okay. I joined your conversation kind of late, but I think it was with Miss Henry. And I'm not too, yeah, it was Miss Henry when she said that the fencing that the government said that the fencing report was, as it were, done away with. Something to that effect.
Yes, sir.
Now, one has to understand that in 2014 is when the fencing advisory came out.
Correct. I read that.
Now, a passport is valid for 10 years. So those passports would have expired between somewhere in 2024. So there's no need to continue an advisory when those passports, when they take out that section with the where you were born, because the Iranians and all of those were trying to hide the origin, the place where they were born. So those passports are no longer valid.
Makes a lot of
so
sense.
To say that the fencing report is now done away with, there's no need for it because those passports are no longer valid. For an adult, a passport lasts 10 years. A child under 16, 5 years. So those passports are non-existent. They will have gone out of the system. So coming forward now, you have passports now that have to bear where you were born. And so they could identify, yes, you might be a citizen of St. Kitts Nevis, but your origin, your birth, will have to be recorded in the passport. So this rejoicing that fencing has relieved of, there's no rejoicing to go on with because the passports are no longer valid.
I'm with you, Carla.
So there's no need to rejoice. So we have to understand that our system is just rejoicing is no need. Now I note that there was a gentleman who spoke about the bathrooms down at the ferry terminal and bus terminal. I happened to go in there one day, and it was applied. It was terrible. You practically had to tiptoe in for the amount of water that was on the floor. I met a gentleman who I thought he was still working down at because I know he was working down at the bus terminal. Well, the bus and ferry terminal, he used to do work down there, clean and sweep up and that kind of stuff. And so I said to him, I said, man, how are you got the bathroom? He said, man, they send me home. Because he reached the age of 62, and so they said they have to go. And he's saying that they didn't have nobody, they replace him with nobody. So there's nobody there to clean, to keep those that one bathroom, is only one bathroom because the ladies section, the female section is closed. On the other side, on the eastern side, those two are closed. And as he rightly said, folks are going behind of those establishments and urinating. So it smells very terrible when you auto pass that. Just on the end section there, the fellas just play like dominoes and draft inside of the area.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how they manage there. But I believe that our and ministers and other people, you call a government office and you want to speak to somebody in a particular matter, they can tell you, well, the person ain't here. They would not even say, well, let me take a note to give on to the person. No, they ain't here. So then, and you got to call back. And between your call back, it's a long rigmarole going around when you come to government offices. All right.
Thank you,
very
Carla.
much.
We appreciate that. And it is really sad. And this gentleman corroborated, not that we doubted what Greg had said, but corroborating the situation. And I, too, though I use I don't necessarily go into the bathroom section. It's jumping on the bus, head to Sandy Point, SP where the best be, jump off the bus from SP where the best be, and head into Bastille, walk into Bastille to effect my business. But later this afternoon, Godspeed, I will personally go down there and I will call the health department and also public works. Well, let me say I would try.
From what I know, that doesn't fall under the health department. That is, I think he did a Port Authority or...
Oh, yes, Casper, correct.
Casper, yeah, that falls under that. So the minister responsible for that is Miss Honorable Henderson.
Okay, yes,
that is under her
yes.
portfolio.
I'll call that. But the strange thing about that to caller, they are security guards. They are working for Casper, and I suspect that persons would have been reporting it to these. And I don't know, but I'm going to call myself, and I'm going to check it myself, and I'm going to call Casper so I could come back tomorrow, Godspear, and report to the people of the world who are listening to Voices that I did call Casper and when they expect to come and repair it. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the
I'm
call.
convinced I'm convinced they know about it. They know about it. And these things keep going on and on when it comes to government facilities. This is what we are getting. It is like whenever we decide to fix it, because I have heard a minister say, oh, they mash it up, let them stay like that. Because it was referring to schools that, with their bathroom, how they are. And it's like, whenever we get a chance, we fix them. But one has to be careful, because at the end of the day, yes, I know some of the time our people do not take care of these facilities, but it's not for them to say, oh, because we're not taking care of, you're going to not fix it. It is within your duty. That's why we place you there, because we cannot be there to do it. We place you there to do it so that we can have good facilities for not just us, but whenever the visitors come in. Because at the end of the day, when I came in at the bus, I came into town, I'm a diabetic. I couldn't wait to get into that bathroom. So even if I didn't want to go in, I had no choice. Because when you take your tablets, you have to urinate by, ever so often. And so I had to tiptoe in.
Wow.
To get to use the urinal. Oh, man, that's another case by itself. Anyway. Continue to have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, caller, and thanks for calling in and sharing your views. And that is really sad. And I'm not certain how serious you and I and everybody, the man on the street, the grassroots man or woman, we really taking it. If a tourist comes in and want to use in there and cannot or whatever, and it so happen because it's not available or problems and they urinate upon themselves, they're going to go back on TripAdvisors and they're going to place that and say what they didn't like about St. Kitts and what you're going to have happening. Once these things build up, the tourism industry is going to be impacted, because then the tourist ships, the companies, they will not be so inclined to be coming here, in my humble view. That's not an official view. That is just my humble view. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go live to our studio. We have with us our guest in Studio 2. We say good morning, welcome to Voices, welcome to winnfm 98.9. I know you're no stranger here, and we are going to let you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
Yes, greetings, Brother Biff, Rascalungi, the sound of the Mau Mau. I just say I'm no stranger to the airwaves of WinFM. But I'm listening here to all the things that y'all are talking about. And the reason for that is because we have no national consciousness. You understand? And the African Consciousness Movement and the Movement for National Unity, we come in with a program to rectify all these things. And we are asking our people to fall in what Granny say. You know, what Granny say. Fall in and join the Movement for National Unity and build a national consciousness movement. What Granny say. Listen for the date of the general strike. This strike that we're proposing is a hemispheric strike, because we see that basically the imperialist forces and the fascist forces is waging war not only within the borders of the United States when it comes to ICE, but a hemispheric war, because we could see what is taking place how they kidnapped President Maduro from Venezuela. They are choking, just stifling Cuba. No oil could go to Cuba. And the national security strategy document that the Trump administration has brought forward is for the whole Western world. And not only that, we see basically that the waging war globally. We see what is taking place in Iran. And President Trump has stated that they're bombing Iran for fun. And if they're bombing
Where did you get that? That he said the bomb.
I have the clip.
Okay. It would be nice for us to play to
Yeah, no problem.
I
have the clip. I say nothing that I can't back up.
No, I'm not saying that, sir.
Yeah.
Two things. This is the first time I'm hosting Voices. And obviously this is the first time I'm having you on Voices. So I have to be extremely careful. I have to protect the interest of WinFM 98.9 in the first instance, myself, and of course yourself. I don't want us to open up ourselves to
But you don't have to worry about that because I could present the evidence.
Okay, that'll be nice. So we could play it for our listeners.
Yeah. And you know, you have the Shield of the Americas. You was talking about it previously.
Yes, I'm familiar with the Shield.
President Trump is creating his own army in the Western world and using the whole strategy about cartels and fighting drugs. The United States government is the biggest drug runner in the world. And I could prove that too.
When you say drug runner, what do you mean?
But it's whatever it is.
Yeah, but when you say running, what do you mean by running?
The traffic it.
Traffic it where? Within the U.S., outside of the U.S.?
Basically, okay, for instance, you remember the Iran-Contra gate?
No, I'm not
remembering. With Alpanat.
Okay, yes, I remember.
Okay, good. They were taking down guns to Nicaragua for the
Sandinista rebels?
No, for the what you call them again? I forget the name. The rebels was fighting the Sandinistas.
Okay.
And bringing up cocaine and put it in the black community in America.
And again, I'm going to ask.
Yeah. And that, and he was eliminated. He's evidence here, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, but it's nice when you're coming and you're going to be making these statements to have them with you.
Yeah.
I could assure the public, yes, I've read it, I have it in my hand.
Yeah.
I can give quotes for
okay,
it.
you even talking about the Vincent. See, I got Vincent here?
Oh.
Okay.
Vincent, yeah.
Vincent, yeah. Okay.
No. With a document that says Vincent, it starts with Vincent.
Yeah, I have it right here. You see what? This is Vincent advisory.
Okay.
Okay. Vincent believes that illicit actors are abused.
When is that document dated, please?
No, this is from 2014.
Okay, well, no problem. We just need to be certain that we
Yeah,
can follow it. Continue.
But before I go on, let me just finish. We're going to say, we need solar panels to create energy for us. We're going to say one people, one aim, one destiny. We're going to say one Pan-African parliament. We're going to say one Pan-African passport. We're going to say one Pan-African currency. We're going to say self-esteem. We're going to say self-respect. We're going to say self-reliance. We're going to say self-determination. We're going to say revolutionary Pan-Africanism is our philosophy. Now, before I go any further, my brother, I'd just like to play a clip here by Eric Prince where he's saying that he's going to recolonize Africa and African people. So you could hear it for yourself. Eric Prince was the creator of Blackwater. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Not quite, but I could always find
his own private military that the United States government implies. Okay? So I want people to hear this because I like to present evidence. You know? So
from the position of slavery to where we are today.
There was a company called Blackwater, and then they changed their name to Jay, right? And then they named, like, they've been through like multiple different names. And part of why you do that is because you've developed such a horrible reputation.
Yeah. Why would Blackwater have to rebrand?
Oh, it was Jay, you're right. It was Jay, and it was again renamed Academi. Yeah, it's their third name.
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insight.
And we're going to unpack the video after you watch it.
Then it's time for us to just put the imperial hat back on to say, we're going to govern those countries if you're incapable of governing yourselves, because enough is enough. We're done being invaded.
Because our own national security risk is at stake.
Exactly.
National security interests are at stake.
You can say that about pretty much all of Africa. They're incapable of governing themselves and benefiting their citizens. because the governments there are all about looting and pillaging and lining their pockets and going shopping in Paris instead of
All
actually
right, hold
making
on a
their
second.
country
Hold on.
better.
People on the
better
left are going to watch this. They're going to say, wait a minute, Eric Prince is talking about being a colonialist again.
Absolutely. Yes.
The man you saw in that video is named Eric Dean Prince. This is important. The man that is talking about colonizing or recolonizing Africa is an American businessman who's a former US Navy SEALs officer and the founder of the private military company Blackwater. This is really important. He is the founder of a private military company, and he was the CEO, I believe, from 2009 until it sold to a group of investors in 2010. And on top of that, he's the brother of the former US Secretary of Education, Betsy. So he is well connected in the government. He's a former Navy SEALs, and he is also the founder of a private military company. This is the man on that video.
No, Brother Biff, you hear yourself. Okay.
Yes, I heard that.
So the point I'm making to you is that it's not only him is saying this. The Trump administration is orchestrating it. Because you could see it from the national security strategy when they came here for the CARICOM conference. Everything that is affecting the Caribbean in particular and the Western world in general is orchestrated from Washington. We saw the kidnap of President Maduro, where he was accused of running drugs. It's all made up. So the point I'm making to our people, I'm saying to our people here in the Federation, we're starting here where we are. We need to repent and atone for our political sins that we have committed against each other. Labour, CCM, NRP, PNP, all have to be done away with. Because all of us are in the same boat. We are facing the same dilemma. You understand? We need to come. The African Consciousness Movement, we are bringing forward to our people, you understand, to build a national consciousness amongst our people. When we talk about a national consciousness...
Could you hold, Russ? We have a call. Let's go to the line and say good morning to caller. We lost that caller. Continue, Russ.
Yeah, what we are saying is that this national consciousness, we have the 7 principles of Kwanzaa that we are bringing forward, that is a philosophy to move our people in a progressive way, because we realize what is taking place. Like I said before, President Trump said he's bombing Iran for fun. He also said, you have a caller? Oh, he also said that the reason why he attacked Iran is because his advisors told him that Iran was going to attack them first. No, there was negotiations. This was the second part of the negotiations, because with the first war, they were negotiating. With this second attack now, there was also negotiating. And they stopped the attack.
We do have a caller.
Go ahead.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to Voices. We missed that caller again. Continue, Russ.
So the point I'm making, we have to be realistic and understand what is taking place. I played the clip for you with Eric Prince. This is about recolonizing our people, putting us back into enslavement. No, it's not only Eric Prince. There's a French general that said the same thing. Right? President Macron of France said that we ungrateful, black people are ungrateful because we want to be free and sovereign. These things, I have the clips in, my brother. So I'm saying to our people, we got to, what we're talking about, our people, we have to unite. Come together as a people, come up with a plan and a strategy to move our people forward, because these people are not playing. You see it play on the world scene where now they're doing war on Iran. And what they're doing in Iran, they will to us. You don't have to do anything. Some people is down here saying, oh, we don't have anything, so they're not going to do us nothing. That is false. The things on you. You understand? Because the whole thing with President Maduro is not running any drugs. All these things were made up. The drugs before President Chavez come to power from Venezuela. That is true. But since President Chavez came to power and President Maduro take over, the drugs coming out of Venezuela. The drug is coming from Mexico and Colombia. And that's the reality. So the point I'm making to you, what the U.S. government do, they make up stuff on people and propagate it to have you believe that these people are bad people. You understand? The same thing they're doing with Iran. They're saying Iran is a terrorist state. But who is waging war on Iran? Iran is not the United States.
If I could dig in on you, Ras, please. You made a point about proof. And that has been one of the things that have been levied against the U.S. These ships, or these boats, that they have been bombing from day one. The U.S., they are saying, yes, they are drug cartel and they are Venezuelans and they're carrying drugs, transporting drugs from point A to the point B, Venezuela to the U.S. And even in the U.S., persons are saying, well, where is the proof? One, who are these people? How do you know they are Venezuelans? Two, how do you know? Where is the drugs? The drugs they're carrying? Show us. And I'm not certain they have been able to do that as yet. And I'm recalling there was one scene where survivors, the boat was blown up, and there were survivors holding on to rafts or pieces or whatever, and they circled and they bombed them again. So that part of it, and where my amazement comes from, is the fact that these questions are being asked, no answers are being given, and hey, it's just a stroll in the park as if nothing has happened.
Well, you see, the point I'm making, right? They don't have to produce any proof because God fell, and you have to accept it. For instance, why can't send no more students to Cuba to study? You know, we can't send no more students to Cuba to study?
Because the U.S. said so?
Yeah. But the Prime Minister came out and said that, right? The next day, the embassy in Barbados said that is not so, right? Now, remember, see, I have the document here now, right? Because you remember when we took the place of birth out of the passport?
Yes.
Embassy of the United States, Barbados, the Eastern Caribbean and the OECS. Statement from the Consul General, U.S. Embassy to Barbados, the Eastern Caribbean and the OECS.
Sorry, give the date for that again, please.
No, this is when it happened. Yeah, well, I don't have the date on it.
Documents, it's always best to give dates.
Okay, let me read it for you.
Me or other people can actually...
But you remember what happened?
Yeah, but we don't still give the date.
There's no date on here.
Disrespect, but who is to say, I didn't type up that home and give you?
No, I'm going to read it for you.
But that doesn't prove that I didn't type it up home and give you.
Okay, listen to this.
There needs to be a date. There needs to be somewhere that the personal listeners could go and trace and track. And even while you're talking, pull it up, because everybody get a phone and say, oh yes, see it here. That's all.
But listen to this. The United States has not requested any changes to passport issued by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. We know that the press secretary to the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis has clarified that no such request was ever made by the United States. Now, at the time when it happened, I had a feeling that they did it, right? But it was a setup. I'm going to show you why. Look what Mr. St. Lucia said now. They said that they didn't say that, but they said that the government in Cuba is illegal. Right? They said the government in Cuba is illegal. Okay? So what we have that didn't tell government that the place about, but it was going to show you another example again. When Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, right? Kuwait was thieving Iraqi oil. Saddam Hussein went to the United States and said, look, this is the situation. They're thieving my oil. If I attack them, you going to do anything? They said, okay. They said, no, go right ahead. Right? From the time Saddam Hussein attacked Kuwait, they attacked him in the first Gulf War. So what I'm trying to show you is that these people speak with a forked tongue. They never tell the truth. You could go way back to Sitting Bull with the Native Americans, right? They've been negotiating, and at the same time they're planning to liquidate you. That's the reality. It's been happening for centuries. Now look at this. You're not the Monroe Doctrine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. See, I have it here. See the list? Right? The Monroe Doctrine was proclaimed in 1823. The Monroe Doctrine states that the whole Western world belongs to the United States. Right? Now, upgraded now to the Monroe Doctrine, referring to Donald Trump. 1823. The Monroe Doctrine signed U.S. claims Latin America as its area of influence. 1833. U.S. troops intervene in Nicaragua. 1835, U.S. troops intervene in Peru. 1834, San Juan del Norte, Nicaragua destroyed to avenge an insult to the U.S. minister. 1853, U.S. troops intervene in Uruguay. 1856, U.S. invade Panama after the Sandia incident. So I have the list. You see how long they've been invading countries within this hemisphere. You see? So what I'm saying to you, my brother, is nothing new. But our people do not know of these things. Now, what has been taking place recently is that the United States has exposed itself. And the people are seeing clearly now. The United States have been telling lies for all this shit. Because what am I saying, you know? I could even go further, right? J. Edgar Hoover was asked one time, right? What is the biggest threat to the United States of America? Document again, see, you have it? Right? When FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was asked, what in his opinion was the single greatest threat to the United States of America, he responded, African unity.
And what year was that? What's the date of that? When was that?
That was when was the director of the FBI.
Yes, I understand.
But anybody could Google it. It's there.
You're presenting the case, Ras, and you need to be able to.
Listen to me. On the 27th, right? And this was on Facebook at 7:19 a.m.
Okay. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you,
time, etc.
Look here, I do not come here and state anything that is not factual.
I am not saying.
Let me give you. You ever heard of the Dred Scott decision?
Something new. We're going to take a few seconds and go downtown and pay some bills. We have to take a break and do some advertising. So stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be right back with Voices here on WinFM 98.9.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
You're listening to Voices here on WinFM 98.9. It's 11:28, and we are going to get back to our guest in studio. We thank you for listening, and we do have to take a commercial break at this time. And again, you can call into WinFM 98.9 466-0989 and share your view on whatever topic you would like, perhaps the topic we are discussing here. Stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be back in. Whoa!
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what, we keep things flowing. For the people we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky, celebrate and come let your rhythm flow. Flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm flow. Come let your rhythm flow.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Heritage matters to me. Heritage matters to you. Join me, Percival Hanley, this coming Friday and every other Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon for Heritage Matters on Win Media SKN 98.9. Heritage matters to me. Heritage matters to you.
What are you doing? She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, 'cause when we out and we active living we life. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we be drinking. Root boy. Why?
Welcome back to Voices here on 98, winnfm 98.9. We have with us in studio Ras Kolanji. But Ras, we have a call online. Let us go straight to the caller. Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling. Thank you for holding.
It's me. Advising to you, Kalunji. Now, Kalunji, I appreciate the clip you played with pertaining to Blackwater. Last year, I mentioned after the president of Kenya sent 1,000 police to Haiti. Now, for whatever reason, whether those Kenyans was pulled out of Haiti, I'm trying to pronounce it the proper way, Haiti, Blackwater went into Haiti last year, Troy. Let me repeat this. Blackwater went into Haiti last year, 2025, Troy.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm saying this because, respectfully, Troy, I want to ask you, your program On the Ball, is it just about sports?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Now, you see, what we are sharing, Troy, is information that is pertaining to our liberty, our survival, because they have brought war to us. We are not warlike like them. And they have divided us for centuries, for decades, Troy, and it has worked for them. It has worked for them. They have studied us, and it is all because of our resources, Troy. Get that clear. It is all because of our resources. Europe and America have created generational wealth out of the resources of Africa. It is high time we recognize and wake up and take ownership of what belongs to us. Now, it's not going to be easy because, again, Troy, they're ruled by the guns. I mean, our unity will cripple their misery, Troy. They cannot annihilate us. Germany, Belgium, France, England have unalive millions of our people, and we are still here. And they are still the minority. Try, they have flipped the script on us. When they push white supremacy and push black inferiority, they have flipped the script. Now, what is with us that we cannot recognize this? Look at the extent of which they went. Their footprints is all over the planet, Troy. I'm speaking to you, Troy. Not
yes, I'm
to say, well, you're not aware. But you keep asking, where can you find this information? Troy, the information is at our fingertip, and ignorance is a choice. Because we are still, most of us are still going along to get along. Our politicians, I don't refer to them as leaders, Troy. They're not leading. They're going along to get along. Anyway, I don't want to take away from Kalunji, but I just want to lend my support to Kalunji, and it is time that we recognize. Because, like I said, Troy, everything is skewed against us. And our liberation cannot come from external. It has to come from within. We have to fix this. We have issues that we have to deal with internally. I'll leave it there, Troy.
Thanks a lot, Carl. We appreciate that. Thank you for calling and sharing your view. Powerful indeed, as usual. Right?
You have another call?
No.
Okay, I want to play something for you, brother. When I don't know if you know that President Trump called Congresswoman Ilhan Omar garbage.
I know he has been expressing some views, and he normally does that when persons don't agree with what he.
Okay, I want our people to hear this because you have evidence.
Yes, that is the correct way. That is the way to do it.
No, I think that Waltz is a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him. Okay?
Huh?
There's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But what I...
Okay, take the call.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling Voices. Welcome.
Yes, good morning again, Biff, and the guests.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm very happy. I'm very happy, and it's refreshing to see the Ras Kalanji is back on again this morning, trying to bring the information and trying to educate the people. But, you know, our mindset got to change and our attitude got to change. Right before our eyes, we are seeing Sinkis and Nevis slip away. Some persons don't want to talk about it. But the end result is we are going to suffer to this stuff, man. Believe it or not. Can he say, who don't listen is going to feel.
But my brother, let me say this. It's a national security strategy that the Trump administration had put out. It's not here, it's everywhere in the world. So
I got that. I got that clearly.
We in the African consciousness movement and the movement for national unity, we want people to come up with a national consciousness and using the same principles of Kwanzaa as a guide. So we are confident in this thing here because the president is coming down on us, going to force us to unite. I know it's going to happen because people are what what's happening. No, is compromise. You know, for instance, here I think it's we have too much lands. The but we need us. The truck board don't come 1 week. It has been cold. There's food in the country. So I'm calling people to plant these sugar canes. I'm calling people to get see what is by going and they cannot control us. I'm coming with ideas. I'm not telling anybody. I'm saying what God say. The solution to this pollution is African unity. I want people to come with ideas to share how could we get out of this situation that we're in, my brother.
Well, real quickly, let me state my case, man. Thank you for the utterances there. I'm following you real closely, man. You know that already, man. And I was happy that I was able to meet you in the flesh. But trust me personally, I'm overstand all of this stuff. And I'm going to trust something at you real quickly before I get off. You know, you see that destiny proposed for Nevis? I don't think that the reparations committee have even spoken on that yet. And I understand correct there. And the new thing that I came up with is that we as black people, man, yes, we need the unity. But we have already lost so much different ways, man. We have lost so much ways. We didn't get compensation for slavery. You know what I mean? But we haven't got our reparations yet. And here we are. And I'm targeting my own islands, bro. Here we are in our little space in St. Kitts and Nevis, losing all of these massive amounts of lands constantly. You know what I mean? And I'm calling out the reparations committee. They need to put out a statement against that Destiny Project on Nevis because fundamentally, but my issue with that Destiny Project is the land grab and the grabbing away of the lands from the local people. And the premier himself should have moved differently, man. He should have moved in the light of protecting the locals' ownership of the land. And keep up the good works, man. And God bless you going forward, bro.
You got the number for you, the old phone, it's no more. So, you got me again.
Yes, all right. Today I'll do that. Thanks a lot, man. And you guys both have a good day. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Thank you very much, caller. We appreciate that. Thanks for listening to the call-in.
You gone?
Yes.
Okay. So you playing it?
When I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding. You're live on Voices.
Oh, God.
Caller, you're there?
No, they're gone.
Yes, I'm not hearing the caller.
Continue?
Yes. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. We don't want them the hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that...
You heard that, Brother Biff?
Yes, I most certainly
No,
did.
Ilhan Omar is a black woman. So he's garbage.
Maybe, maybe not, but...
How you mean maybe not? She's a black woman.
Yes, but he's speaking to a woman about a woman.
Yeah, but
yeah, but you and I are not females. We are male. I understand. Yes, which is clear. But I think the bigger picture of all of this is that world leaders don't really go around insulting people, insulting countries, etc., etc. And a lot of that is being done by this leader. And you're not really hearing much countries fighting back and saying, "But
what's happening? The political economy of capitalism is in crisis. It has moved now to a fascist stage. Fascism is the open terroristic dictatorship of the most reactionary, most chauvinistic form of capitalism and imperialism. What I mean now, they're not hiding it anymore. The differences between Trump and Biden are other presidents. They're going to kill you, but Trump is going to kill you. That's the difference.
I prefer you use a different example, please. Let's retract that and let's not get into that sort of killing thing. Yes.
I'll tell you. Trump is Biden, Iraq.
Again, you need to produce. Please.
Saying to
and
you,
until you do to withdraw that.
Everything I tell you,
I am not doubting that, but I need to get
the point I'm making, my brother, is that the fascist is not happy to say what I have to say and what I have to do. So that's the point I'm making. That's what I'm saying to you. Is that, for instance, look at sanctions. He's not and telling you that he's going to put sanctions on you. He said Greenland. He got 51st state. No,
correct.
But you know? So I'm saying to you, my brother, you understand, is that our people got and smell the you see? Come on. No.
Now London and the Jews.
What I'm saying to you is that our people got to get real and understand what is taking place in the world. Because these people want to put us back in trash houses. So we in the African consciousness movement, we will educate our people for them to have the proper understanding what is taking place and how we could get out of this situation. Go ahead.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Voices. Go ahead.
Yes, Biff, it's me. Yes. And greetings to you, greetings to Kolonji again. Now, me and Kolonji, we stand differently on the issue of economics. And Kolonji is a communist, socialist, Marxist person. You're wrong. You're wrong. China did. Yes, that's black African people. The socialist system.
Yeah, people in China.
There's no black people in China?
No.
You want to rephrase that again?
No, but wait a minute. 1 minute.
Yes, guys, let's have one at a time.
The revolution took place in 1949. There wasn't no black people in China.
That's not true. There were black slaves before that and after that.
There were no people in China, my brother.
Okay, guys, we have to move on from... No, gentlemen, take it easy, please, gentlemen. We have to move on from here because you're saying white, I'm saying black, and we're not really getting anywhere. So please, let's move off of that topic.
Okay, yes. For all who want to research it, just go and Google slavery in China during communist era. Just go and Google that. Now, what I'm saying is this, okay? What Kalunji is, and like I was saying, I'm a free market capitalist person. That is what I wanted to say, but I didn't get to say that.
Something that you was a victim of.
Because it was an abuse of the system. You just use knives. Knives that kill you to kill people.
Kolenji, let him finish, please.
You don't use knife to cook. That's the right use. Something can be wrongly used. Something can be rightly used. Capitalism was wrongly used. The property issue wrongly used. Because under capitalism, the first property is a man's body. Now, what I'm saying is that, what I'm saying is this, is that, what Kalunji is blaming on capitalism in America, which he said has turned into fascism, no, that's not true. America has been always fascist, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Capitalism has to do with the separation of government and the economy, where the means of production, distribution, and that sort of stuff are privately owned. Under fascism, it gives the appearance on paper as though things are privately owned, but in practice, it's the government who running everything and owning everything and regulating everything, which is contrary to capitalism. Okay? So that point also needs to be made. But on the other issues...
30 seconds, please, caller.
Yes. On the other issues with Kalunji talking about Iran and the presidents and the CIA running drugs and all that sort of stuff, I agree with Kalunji with those issues. Though I would say him calling Ilian Homer garbage is not necessarily calling all black people garbage, because there are black people, there are white people, and all sorts of who are garbage.
Okay.
I mean, he's calling all black people garbage.
Could you wrap up for us, please? We have to go to an ad.
I won't put it past him, but that ain't necessarily have to be the case.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Rascolinju, we have, it's now 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes actually. So we have to go to some ads, and when we come back, you'll have the opportunity to wrap up for us, please. Quite interesting and heated indeed.
Looking for the clip to play to show you where Trump said he bombing Iran for fun.
Yes, let us go. We have to give our sponsors their mileage. So let us do that, and then we will come back and we'll give you a chance to wrap up, and we may be able to squeeze in another call or two, but at this point we are going to take a break and pay some bills, and we are going to come back and stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be right back in a few. You are listening to Voices here on winnfm 98.9. It's now 7.5 minutes to midday. And of course, the midday news, that comes in at 12 p.m. So we are going to be going down and allowing that to happen. We are having a challenge here, Ras Kalunji. Let us take this caller. You had a clip for us. Okay, the caller looked like the caller is back. Thank you for calling Voices. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I just want to put an additional strength behind the production area of agriculture. There is no survival of agriculture without the government. The fact is, Kalunji, you have to understand that if farmers are going to plant food that we could reap, you need to have what you call a side-by-side live crop food, which is animal, and you need to have food that plants in the ground. Now, the thing is that the land is so wide that most farmers who plant cannot afford to fence. And so those who have animals must tie the animals, they must fence them. And so to keep them separate from each other, you need government, because you need enforcement like tagging animals and the ear to make sure that they identify who the owners are. You need to tag dogs that are going to eat livestock. And so you need you need government to keep this separation. If you don't have it, you don't stand a chance. So therefore, telling somebody, oh, fence your property, oh, tie your dog, no. Only these things could only be done with enforcement and good education. And so that is the way I go with that. You need agriculture, but for that, animals must be tied, dogs must be kept in the place, and so on, to protect all sides of the crops. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller Rascology. Let us now go to that break because it's 5 minutes, so we have to wrap up.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
Okay.
So when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, root boy. So when we drink, root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, root boy. So when we drink, root boy. Why?
We are back on Voices, and the Raz, you're going to have to wrap up. We have just about a minute, so you have 45 seconds to wrap. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to take another call.
Okay.
But 45 seconds to wrap up, Raz, because we might have to go to the midday news.
All right. So, basically, what the call before said about agriculture. When his opinion, this is the joint decision. Only concord with him. Where separate and varied concurring opinions, and to dissented head on. The Chief Justice ruled that from the founding of the country, Africans had been considered as a subordinate inferior class of beings, who therefore had no which the man was bound to respect. This is the Dred Scott decision that went to the Supreme Court of the United States.
10 seconds.
So I'm just saying to you that this is the foundation of the United States. We have no rights that the United States is bound to respect. And as long as
5 seconds.
we ain't going to get the situation win. So what we're going to us to unite as a people. The only solution to this pollution is African unity. Give thanks. One love.
You have been listening to another edition of Voices. We're going to go to the midday news in a second. And we thank Francis Kulunji and the callers for being here. And of course, our sponsors. Tune in again tomorrow.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. If you need cash in a flash with now, no need to fuss, leave it to us. When you need cash in a flash, no need to fuss, leave it to us. Hear me now. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. Approved in a day, yeah, yeah. Some money on the way, yeah, yeah. Approved in a day, oh, yeah, you know it's coming.
When life throws surprises your way, Now's here to help. Whether it's for an urgent bill payment, home improvements, or unexpected health expenses, or even that last-minute holiday trip. With Now, you get cash in a flash, approved in just 24 hours.
Approved in a day, yeah, yeah. Some money on the way, yeah, yeah. Approved in a day, oh, yeah, you know it's coming. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now.
A loan product powered by National Bank.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the WinFM News, reporting, I am German Abel. As St. Kitts and Nevis joined the global community on Sunday in observing International Women's Day, calls continue to grow worldwide for stronger protection for women's rights. In a message marking the occasion, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres highlighted the ongoing inequality between men